Hello there, and welcome to Whispers to Sleep. My name is David, and I'm truly honored to be your guide tonight. Here we believe sleep is not just a routine. It's a gentle journey, a quiet return to peace every night. I craft stories with care, so your mind can rest and your body can soften all you need to do. Take a slow deep breath in, and as you breathe out, allow the day to melt away. Close your eyes. Get cozy under the covers and let my voice lead you into calm, into comfort, into dreams. This is your time. Your memento, truly relax. Let's begin. You are lying down now. The air is still, the world outside muted, as if wrapped in a soft blanket. Your teddy bear rests against your chest, unmoving but full of presence. Its weight is gentle, familiar. It doesn't need to speak its silence. Says everything. And in this moment, something shifts. Time, which all day rushed and ticked and demanded, begins to dissolve. You no longer feel the pressure of minutes or the weight of hours. Instead, time begins to stretch thin and wide like golden thread. You can almost see it unraveling, slow and warm, through the spaces between thoughts. You are not watching time anymore. You are inside it. You breathe in, slowly, and time folds with your breath. Breathe out, and it sighs with you. This is not the time of the clock. It's the time of the body. The kind that drips like honey instead of clicking like a gear. The teddy bear you hold remembers this kind of time. The time of stories before sleep, of sunsets through windows, of waiting without knowing what for, and still being okay with not knowing. You feel it now, your body syncing not with machines, but with the old rhythm of the earth, the rotation of the planet, the heartbeat of nature. You close your eyes, but the story is just beginning. Imagine time not as a straight line, but as soft fabric, slightly worn, with folds and wrinkles. Moments are stitched into it, some tightly, some loosely. The past isn't behind you, it's just further down the thread. The future? It's already sewn in, though faintly outlined. Scientists once believed time was absolute. 1 second here was the same as 1 second anywhere. But then Einstein arrived, gently unthreading that certainty. He showed us that time is relative, that it stretches, slows, bends, depending on speed, on gravity, on space itself. If you were drifting through space, far from Earth, and I stayed behind, time would pass differently for us. Your seconds might slip by more slowly, like snowflakes in deep cold. Mine might rush, like wind through trees. And when we met again, we would not have aged the same. You run your fingers over the bear's fur, soft with time. How long have you had this companion? The hours spent holding it don't feel counted, they feel held. Because that's the difference between clock time and felt time. One is measured. The other is lived in your mind. You begin to float, not up or out, but inward, into memory, into rhythm, into the quiet engine that runs beneath the noise. And there, inside your own experience, time is different again, your earliest memory. How far away is it really? When you think of it now, isn't it as near as breath? The brain doesn't store time like a file cabinet. It layers it like perfume. You don't pull memories out, you fall into them. And sometimes they reach for. You first. You and the bear, side by side, drift through one of those folds. Perhaps you are 5 again, or 6. Perhaps you're listening to rain, or watching dust dance in a sunbeam. No one rushes you here. No one taps a watch or sets a timer. This is the deep time of the self, the time that heals, the time that restores. Around you, sleep stirs in quiet waves. Your body responds not to alarms, but to cycles. The circadian rhythm, that 24-hour melody written into your very cells, begins to hum softly in the background. It tells your body when to rest, when to wake, when to cool down, when to let go. It follows the sun and the dark. And the teddy, though inanimate, feels like a part of that rhythm. It's been your sunset and your anchor. Even now, scientists are exploring time not just in clocks or physics, but in biology, in emotion, in perception. They ask, why does time fly when you're happy? Why does it drag when you're anxious? The answer lies in attention. Time moves faster when you're not watching it. It slows when you notice everything. You are noticing everything now. The bears. Soft breathlessness, the rise and fall of your chest. The quiet hum of your mind slowly unwinding its grip. Here, in this space, seconds do not matter. What matters is presence. What matters is being. Time is not your enemy. It is your story, unfolding in layers, one breath at a time. The future isn't something to chase. It arrives when it's ready, stitched carefully into the fabric of now. And the past isn't something to forget. It's the warmth in the bear, the echo in your bones, the pattern in the thread. Soon, this chapter of stillness will give way to another, one that feels even softer, even deeper. But before we drift on, stay here just a little longer, with the thread and the teddy, and the time that isn't ticking. Let yourself imagine. What is softness made of? What holds it together? The answer, perhaps, is waiting in the next stitch of the story. You breathe in, and there it is again, the softness. The way the teddy bear yields under your fingers, never resisting, only responding. It doesn't push back. It welcomes your touch like memory itself. You run your hand across its surface. Each fiber, a thread of quiet design. And beneath it all, something deeper, something invisible, something moving. The softness you feel is not just fabric. It's matter, alive in motion. You may not see them, but within the threads of that teddy, countless molecules sway and shift. Atoms, the tiniest pieces of existence, are never truly still. Even in silence, even in sleep, they dance. Soft matter, scientists call it. The kind of stuff that's not solid like steel, nor fluid like water, but somewhere in between. Foams. Gels, fabrics, skin, hair, clouds, even dreams. Soft matter surrounds us, holds us, soothes us. It's what makes your teddy bear soft. But softness doesn't mean weak. It means adaptable. It means responsive. It means something that listens. Inside, the bear's fabric, polymer's long chains of molecules coil and uncoil like ribbons. They link together loosely, like friends holding hands. Each touch you give is absorbed, spread out, and returned with gentle force. That's elasticity. That's molecular empathy. Hydrogen bonds hum. Beneath it all, tiny attractions, fleeting and flexible. They're not strong alone, but together they create texture, memory, and comfort. It's the same kind of bond that holds water in your cells, that zips the strands of your DNA together, that shapes the snowflakes falling silently beyond your window. These gentle bonds are everywhere. They make up the chemistry of life and softness alike. And they are temporary on purpose, because softness must yield, just as you yield to sleep. Teddy's body is stitched, but the softness is not in the stitching. It's in the air between the fibers. It's in the way molecules move without crashing. Soft matter flows around stress instead of shattering from it. You begin to notice your own softness. The pillow under your head, the warm air near your nose, the gentle stretch of your lungs. You, too, are made of soft matter. Not just muscle and skin, but living cells that adapt, bend, reshape. Your bones may be hard, but everything around them is forgiving. Even your thoughts at this hour become softer. They drift, not march. They melt, not snap. Softness enters the mind when resistance fades. You think of the materials that comfort you, cotton blankets, warm paper velvet chairs, none of them rigid, all of them able to receive you? Why do we trust what is soft? Perhaps because in softness we recognize safety. Nothing soft ever harmed us in a hurry. Softness is patient. It waits for you. It molds to your shape. The teddy knows no fear. It endures the tug of small hands, the weight of your tears, and still it returns to form, not unchanged, but still whole. In science, softness is a language of resilience. It's the ability to hold and release, to stretch and return, to yield without breaking. You imagine zooming in, closer than any eye can see, past the fabric, past the threads, into the realm where atoms bounce in a quiet room of heat. Not still but balanced. Temperature is motion. And even now, in your rest, motion continues. The bear's warmth echoes yours. Both of you radiate energy, quietly exchanging it like a whisper between friends. What seems still is always alive. What seems soft is built from endless relationships. Each bond, no matter how fleeting, adds to the whole. You are not separate from this dance. Your body, too, is an orchestra of motion and matter. Molecules stretch across synapses. Proteins fold like origami. Neurons spark and fade. All beneath the skin you forget is even there. In the silence of your room. You are a system in harmony with another. The teddy bear isn't alive, but it reminds you how to be. It reminds you of warmth, of flexibility, of returning to form after life has folded you in half. And maybe that's what makes it magic, not its shape, but its softness. It mirrors something deep within you. The way you adapt, the way you bond, the way you hold on gently. Softness is not the absence of strength. It is the presence of trust. The trust that even when everything shifts, even when time folds and moments slip, you will reshape and continue. And now you feel your breath slowing again. The teddy resting in the crook of your arm, unmoving, but never unfeeling. Perhaps everything that holds us really holds us is made of softness, gravity, skin, memory, love. So you let yourself go softer. Still, you let your thoughts stretch like thread across a pillow. And just as you begin to fade, you wonder, what is warmth, if not the love between molecules, the way energy travels between worlds? Your eyes are closed now, not because you forced them shut, but because the weight of calm has gently covered them. The teddy rests near your heart, warm not with fire, but with presence. Not hot, not cold, but just enough. You shift slightly, and the air beneath the blanket swells with quiet heat. It's not just comfort. It's energy. You feel it without needing to name it. The science of warmth. And tonight, you are its quiet student. Warmth is not only a feeling. It is movement, disguised as stillness. It is the quiet motion of molecules, each one vibrating, spinning, nudging its neighbor. When they move faster, we feel heat. When they slow, we feel cold. And the teddy, by holding close to your skin, is sharing in this dance. Your body is a small sun, glowing softly, releasing energy as it rests. The bear receives that warmth and holds it. You are exchanging more than emotion. You are exchanging thermodynamics. Scientists define heat as energy in motion, moving from warm to cool. You don't command it. It flows on its own, always seeking balance, like water down a hill or thoughts into dreams. Your bed becomes a microclimate, a little weather system of you, and the bear and the quiet air around you. A warmth that does not burn but blankets. Not because the bear is alive, but because matter listens. You are wrapped now not only in fabric, but in laws that govern every star and stone. Entropy whispers through the room, not chaos. Just the natural drift of heat, spreading evenly. fading gently. Entropy isn't destruction. It is softness expanding. The universe cooling, not dying but resting. Even the stars will one day sleep. And in that idea, there is something beautiful. Because even warmth must eventually be shared. It is not meant to be hoarded. Like kindness, like love, like light, the teddy doesn't glow, but it holds your glow. It cradles the echoes of your heat, the way a hand cradles a flame without ever touching it. Beneath your skin, your body does its own quiet math. Blood vessels dilate or contract. Your temperature lowers just slightly as sleep deepens. A cooling that signals all is safe, all can slow. The teddy adjusts without trying. Its fibers hold warmth longer than your skin. And so it offers that heat back little by little, like a story told in reverse. Have you ever wondered why we seek warmth when we're sad? Or why we offer blankets to those in shock? Warmth is not just physics, it is peace. It reminds the body that survival is no longer urgent. In ancient times, people huddled close for heat, but they found more than survival. They found presence. Shared breath, shared pulse, shared rest. Tonight, you and the teddy are doing the same. Two objects in quiet transfer, energy passing invisibly from one to the other, until balance is reached. And balance, after all, is what sleep is. Not escape, not forgetting. Just evenness. A place where nothing tries too hard. The laws of thermodynamics speak of conservation. How energy never disappears, only moves, transforms. The warmth you give tonight is not lost. It becomes part of the air, the pillow, the bear, the dream. Maybe. Tomorrow, the bear will feel just a little warm when you pick it up. A trace of the night before. The story of your sleep, told in temperature. And maybe that's what all warmth is. A story that doesn't need words. The sun warms the earth from 93 million miles away. It never touches us, but without it, life would never stir. Warmth is connection without contact, a promise passed through light. Your teddy bear is a tiny sun, too. Not because it creates heat, but because it remembers yours. And when you hug it, you're completing a loop. Energy flows into softness, and softness flows into sleep. You are not alone in this exchange. Even deep in the ocean, animals share warmth. Through touch. Even stars huddle in clusters, gravity pulling them close. Everything in nature finds a way to share its heat, to share its story. Now your thoughts drift further still. What is it that makes us crave warmth so deeply? Perhaps it's not just biology. Perhaps it's because warmth is the first language we learn. Before words, before sight, the warmth of a body beside us. And now, the night leans in, gently. You are no longer watching warmth. You are inside it. You are no longer thinking about energy. You are the energy being shared. The teddy bear sleeps in its way. Still soft, absorbing the last vibrations of your day. And in doing so, it offers you an invitation to slow, to cool, to drift. You are. Heat made soft, motion made calm, light made low. And as you fade even further, you begin to wonder. If warmth flows without needing to be seen, what else might be speaking in silence, deep within you? You lie still now, floating not in air, not in water, but in the invisible arms of something vast, something older than breath, older than sleep itself. Gravity. Its single quote says here, even when you forget it, holding you to the bed, pulling gently on. Every cell. The reason your body nestles deep into the mattress, the reason your teddy stays curled in the crook of your arm. There is no sound to gravity, no color, no scent. And yet, it is the most loyal companion you have ever known. From the moment you were born, gravity held you. When you took your first steps, it tested you. And when you fall asleep, it never lets go. You feel its hum in your bones, a weight, but not a burden, more like a promise that you belong here, that you are not floating away out in the universe. Gravity pulls stars into galaxies, moons into orbit, and planets into harmony. It curves space itself, so that what seems like straight motion bends gently toward center. You are, in this moment, part of that curve, not separate, not small, a participant in the slow, beautiful spiral of motion and stillness. The teddy bear in your arms doesn't know the laws of physics, but it follows them. Its quiet weight reminds you, gravity is not just down, it's toward. Everything falls not because it's broken, but because it's being gathered. You remember falling once perhaps as a child, your knees scraped, your pride bruised. But even then, gravity was not punishing you. It was bringing you back to earth. A reminder, you are part of something. Every drop of water flows downward. Every apple drops from its tree. Not by mistake, by design. Isaac Newton saw an apple fall and asked not just what, but why. And in doing so, he named the force that had been singing since the stars were born. But even before Newton, gravity was at work. It pulled the dust of ancient stars together, shaping suns, kindling life. Your body, your breath, your heartbeat, all born in places held together by gravity's quiet hands. It doesn't shout. It doesn't chase. It waits, and still it holds everything that matters. The moon, far above your roof, pulls gently on the oceans. And those tides, those vast movements of water respond, not with violence, but rhythm. High tide, low tide. Rising, falling. Like your chest now. In your body, water moves too. Gravity helps it flow, helps it settle. Your blood, your breath, your balance. Even your dreams rest in gravity's embrace. Have you ever floated in water, letting go completely? That feeling weightless, held, is not the absence of gravity. It is gravity partnered with buoyancy. Two forces dancing to keep you cradled. Now imagine floating in space. Not because there's no gravity, but because everything is falling together. The space station, the astronaut, the pen in their hand. All falling, all at once, in orbit. That's what weightlessness is. Free fall forever. But here, in your room, gravity is steady. It doesn't rush. It doesn't need to. It simply is. You feel it now in your feet, in your shoulders, in the places where your body touches the bed. The world holding you not to trap you, but to reassure you. You're here. You're safe. The teddy bear shifts slightly under your hand, not of its own will, but because gravity keeps it nestled close. You smile softly. Even this small weight carries meaning. Your thoughts, too, are pulled gently downward, out of the air, out of the clouds, back into your body, into rest. And here, gravity becomes more than physics. It becomes lullaby, a song sung not in sound, but in shape, in rhythm, in the quiet understanding between you and the earth. There are stories of people leaving gravity behind. Astronauts on the moon, scientists in parabolic flight. They describe it not as freedom, but as floating uncertainty. Without gravity, even dreams drift too far. You begin to understand. We don't just live under gravity. We live with it. It holds your cup to the table. It brings rain from the sky. It keeps the oceans from flying into space. And it reminds you always where home is. Right now, that home is this bed, this room, this night. And the weight of your body, gently pressed into the mattress, is not heaviness. It's belonging. You are not falling. You are being held. And in that holding, your mind begins to quiet. Because when you feel secure, you don't need to grasp. You don't need to run. You can surrender. You are a leaf on the surface of a lake. You are a star caught in a galaxy's spin. You are a child in gravity's arms. A teddy rests against you, its soft body pulled into yours. Two objects, shaped by the same invisible hand. Everything around you is falling toward the earth, but slowly, lovingly, as if gravity knows. Sleep comes easier when we feel tethered. And just as your breath slows again, you begin to feel something. Else a memory, perhaps not of falling, but of rising warmth between you and the world. A warmth that moves without flame. A chemistry that comforts, even in darkness. The room is quiet now. Even your thoughts have slowed, like leaves drifting on the surface of a still lake. The teddy bear rests against your chest, warm with your warmth, silent with your silence. And yet, something is happening beneath the stillness. Inside your brain, soft messengers move with purpose. You can't feel them exactly, but they are there. A gentle symphony of molecules composing comfort from within. These are your body's quiet chemists. They speak not in words, but in feelings. A sigh of relief, a sense of calm, a pull toward. Sleep. You hug the bear a little closer. You don't know why it helps, but it does. And that why lives in your chemistry. Your body releases oxytocin, often called the cuddle hormone. It flows when you touch, when you trust, when you feel safe. It's not just for romance or parenting. It's a molecule of connection, of closeness, of bonding without words. The teddy bear doesn't hug back. It doesn't need to. It gives you something to give your oxytocin to. A vessel for calm, for grounding, for letting go. And then there's serotonin, the messenger of mood. It travels quietly between neurons, reminding your mind that peace is possible, that joy doesn't have to be loud. Serotonin is sunlight-made chemical. It is the feeling of a familiar scent, of clean sheets, of memories that don't hurt anymore. Right now, it helps slow the tides of your thoughts. It says you don't need to solve anything now. Just be here. Just rest. Beneath even that, your pineal gland, a tiny pearl deep in the center of your brain, begins to release melatonin. It does this when the light fades. It watches for darkness, not to fear it, but to honor it. Melatonin is your body's invitation. To sleep, it doesn't force you. It simply lowers the curtain, softens the lights, and dims the inner stage. All of this oxytocin, serotonin, melatonin, a cocktail of comfort. Crafted not in a lab, but in you, in response to touch, to stillness, to trust. The teddy bear helps, not because it changes you, but because it reminds your brain to do what it already knows how to do. Even now, as you begin to let go of the day, you feel your body shifting into a different rhythm. Heart slowing, muscles releasing, mind wandering in softer directions. And all around this transition, chemistry works gently, not with drama, not with urgency, but like a tide drawing you inward. You think of how many things we call comfort, a warm bath, a hand on your shoulder, a favorite song from childhood. And behind all of them, quiet molecules carry the message. You're safe. You're seen. You can rest. Even memory has chemistry. The smell of the bear may remind you of a past version of yourself, or someone who once gave it to you. And that memory is built of synapses, little sparks, little floods of neurotransmitters rebuilding the scene in silence. It's no accident that comfort is a chemical reaction. Your body is wired to protect you from harm, but also to preserve peace, to seek balance. These chemicals are not tricks. They are tools. They do not override your will. They support your surrender. Tonight, you are not solving problems. You are not chasing answers. You are allowing softness. You are allowing your chemistry to do its sacred, silent work. A bear cannot cure heartbreak. but it can calm the storm just enough for your brain to start rebuilding. And this chemistry, it isn't isolated. It flows through your entire being, from your brain to your nerves to your gut. Yes, even your stomach has its own network, a second brain. They call it filled with cells that listen, respond, feel. This is why a warm cup of tea or the scent of something familiar can shift your mood without a single word. Your chemistry listens, even when your mind is tired, even when your heart is quiet. And it doesn't need much. A soft toy, a quiet space, a moment without demand. These are enough to trigger a cascade, tiny drops that grow into rivers until the entire body feels held. You sigh again. Not from effort, from release. And the molecules sigh with you. Because peace, like stress, has a physical form. And you are choosing peace now. The teddy bear doesn't know your story. It doesn't judge. It simply offers what it is, a shape. For comfort to inhabit. And comfort, once given space, spreads on its own. Your chemistry understands this. Your body is wise beyond your memory. It knows what calm feels like. It remembers how to rest. And now, with your eyes fluttering somewhere between open and closed, your breath slow and even, you feel it fully. The bear is warm. You are warm. And within you, a quiet orchestra plays notes of hormone, chords of rest, melodies of letting go. So you let go. And as you fade just a little further into the warm shadows of night, a thought drifts through like mist. If comfort is a chemical, then what else might your body remember to feel? Even when your mind forgets, you lie here, calm and still. But inside you, a world is busy. 1,000 quiet conversations unfold beneath your skin. And though you do not hear them, they are happening right now. Each cell in your body is awake, even as you drift toward sleep. Not rushing, not shouting, just doing what it knows. It speaks in pulses, in shifts, in signals. And the entire body listens. You are made of trillions of cells. Tiny living beings, each with a task, each with its own rhythm, its own song. They do not speak like we do. They speak in movement, in molecules, in the quiet transfer of purpose, right? Now, as your breath slows, your cells begin their night shift. Some repair, some clean, some rebuild what the day wore down. It's remarkable, isn't it? That while your mind floats into sleep, your body begins its healing. Your skin renews, your muscles restore. Even your brain sorts, trims, and strengthens connections, all in the background, all in silence. And yet, none of it is random. Cells know where to go. They know what to do. They speak through a chemical code, an alphabet made of proteins and enzymes, receptors and responses. They don't need words. They don't need thought. Just purpose, passed from one to another, like notes passed through a choir. You and your teddy bear lie in stillness together. Neither of you moves much. But while the bear is still in every way, you are still only on the surface. Deep inside, your body hums. Your immune cells sweep through tissues, searching gently for anything broken or lost. When they find damage, they don't panic, they respond. They repair. And all of it begins with a signal, a whisper through the body's messaging system. That whisper may be a cytokine, a hormone, a neurotransmitter, each one carrying meaning without sound. Cells do not argue. They coordinate. They pass along what needs to be said and listen for what comes back. And the most beautiful part? They do this without knowing you. They do it because you are them. You are not a person who owns cells. You are a community of cells, living together, listening to each other, all in the same skin. Sleep deepens now. Your muscles let go. Your heartbeat settles into a slower beat. This rhythm, this gentle slowing, tells your cells, It's time. Time to rebuild. Time to balance. Time to speak softly and work without strain. In your brain. Glial cells, silent caretakers, clear away the clutter of thought. They sweep the mind's pathways so that dreams can move freely. Your heart cells keep their steady tempo. Each beat a reminder. You're alive. You're safe. You're still here. Even your bones are speaking now. Inside them, marrow creates new blood cells, tiny messengers that will carry oxygen by morning. And all of this happens without effort from you. You don't command it. You don't direct it. Your cells remember what to do, even when you forget, just like the teddy bear by your side. It does nothing, and yet its presence is everything. A symbol, a companion, a quiet voice that says, you're not alone. Your cells are saying the same thing. Every one of them is part of a larger self-you, and still they behave like good neighbors. They signal before moving. They request before acting. They respond to the needs around them. This is biology as relationship. You are not a machine. You are a garden, a living, breathing, listening ecosystem. And when something goes wrong, a break, a bruise, a sadness, your cells adjust. They don't give up. They don't blame. They respond. Sleep allows this adaptation. It opens the door to cellular conversation. When you rest, you give your body the quiet it needs to hear itself clearly. In waking hours, there is too much noise, too much light, too many signals. But now there is only stillness, only breath, only time enough to listen. The teddy bear, too, becomes a metaphor. It doesn't speak, but it says everything. Not with words, but with presence. And presence, after all, is how your body communicates. A cell does not explain its actions. It becomes them. You feel the warmth in your belly, the slight tingle in your hands, the gentle heaviness of your limbs. These are not random. They are messages, whispers of wellness, signs of healing. And in this space between waking and sleep, you are most attuned to them. You are not thinking your body into balance. You are allowing it, giving permission for rest. And with that permission, the body responds with love, a silent kind of love, one that flows in proteins and pulses, one that binds without chains, one that builds you cell by cell, night after night. You are not falling asleep. You are returning to self, to balance, to the quiet truth that healing is not something you do. It's something you allow. And just before you slip fully into dreams, a final question hums inside you. If every cell knows how to listen, then what happens when your whole being finally hears itself? You lie here, calm and still, but inside you, a world is busy. 1,000 quiet conversations unfold beneath your skin. And though you do not hear them, they are happening right now. Each cell in your body is awake, even as you drift toward sleep, not rushing, not shouting, just doing what it knows. It speaks in pulses, in shifts, in signals. And the entire body listens. You are made of trillions of cells, tiny living beings, each with a task, each with its own rhythm, its own song. They do not speak like we do. They speak in movement, in molecules, in the quiet transfer of purpose. Right. Now, as your breath slows, your cells begin their night shift. Some repair, some clean, some rebuild what the day wore down. It's remarkable, isn't it, that while your mind floats into sleep, your body begins its healing. Your skin renews, your muscles restore. Even your brain sorts, trims, and strengthens connections, all in the background, all in silence. And yet, none of it is random. Cells know where to go. They know what to do. They speak through a chemical code, an alphabet made of proteins and enzymes, receptors and responses. They don't need words. They don't need thought. Just purpose passed from one to another, like notes passed through a choir. You and your teddy bear lie in stillness together. Neither of you moves much. But while the bear is still in every way, you are still only on the surface. Deep inside, your body hums. Your immune cells sweep through tissues, searching gently for anything broken or lost. When they find damage, they don't panic. They respond. They repair gut, and all of it begins with a signal, a whisper through the body's messaging system. That whisper may be a cytokine, a hormone, a neurotransmitter, each one carrying meaning without sound. Cells do not argue. They coordinate. They pass along what needs to be said, then listen for what comes back. And the most beautiful part, they do this without knowing you. They do it because you are them. You are not a person who owns cells. You are a community of cells, living together, listening to each other, all in the same skin. Sleep deepens now. Your muscles let go. Your heartbeat settles into a slower beat. This rhythm, this gentle slowing, tells your cells, it's time. Time to rebuild. Time to balance. Time to speak softly and work without strain. In your brain. Glial cells, silent caretakers, clear away the clutter of thought. They sweep the mind's pathways so that dreams can move freely. Your heart cells keep their steady tempo. Each beat a reminder. You're alive. You're safe. You're still here. Even your bones are speaking now. Inside them, marrow creates new blood cells, tiny messengers that will carry oxygen by morning. And all of this happens without effort from you. You don't command it. You don't direct it. Your cells remember what to do, even when you forget, just like the teddy bear. By your side. It does nothing, and yet its presence is everything. A symbol, a companion, a quiet voice that says, you're not alone. Your cells are saying the same thing. Every one of them is part of a larger self-you, and still they behave like good neighbors. They signal before moving. They request before acting. They respond to the needs around them. This is biology as relationship. You are not a machine. You are a garden. A living, breathing, listening ecosystem. And when something goes wrong, a break, a bruise, a sadness, your cells adjust. They don't give up. They don't blame. They respond. Sleep allows this adaptation. It opens the door to cellular conversation. When you rest, you give your body the quiet it needs to hear itself clearly. In waking hours, there is too much noise, too much light, too many signals. But now, there is only stillness, only breath, only time enough to listen. The teddy bear, too, becomes a metaphor. It doesn't speak, but it says everything. Not with words, but with presence. And presence, after all, is how your body communicates. A cell does not explain its actions. It becomes them. You feel the warmth in your belly, the slight tingle in your hands, the gentle heaviness of your limbs. These are not random. They are messages, whispers of wellness, signs of healing. And in this space between waking and sleep, you are most attuned to them. You are not thinking your body into balance. You are allowing it, giving permission for rest. And with that permission, the body responds with love, a silent kind of love, one that flows in proteins and pulses, one that binds without chains, one that builds you cell by cell, night after night. You are not falling asleep. You are returning to self, to balance, to the quiet truth that healing is not something you do. It's something you allow. And just before you slip fully into dreams, a final question hums inside you. If every cell knows how to listen, then what happens when your whole being finally hears itself? You are not fully here anymore. You are drifting between breath and sleep, between thought and something softer. The teddy bear still rests by your side, its form unchanged, yet somehow, in this moment, it feels like more. A companion, a guide, a tiny anchor in a vast and branching sea, because as you drift, your thoughts begin to loosen their grip. And in that loosening, something wondrous appears. Possibility. What if this night wasn't the only one? What if every moment, every choice, created a quiet echo? A thread in a larger fabric? Scientists call it the multiverse. A theory born not of fantasy, but of quantum mechanics. The smallest particles, they've discovered, do not move in straight lines. They shimmer, they split, they superpose. And some believe each possibility is real. Each path taken and not taken. Each decision made and unmade. Each version of you sleeping now in different ways, in different rooms, in different dreams. It's not a story of science fiction. It's a story of quantum curiosity, of what reality means when the tiniest pieces of matter refuse to settle into only one truth. You shift beneath the covers. And somewhere, maybe, you shifted the other way. You held the bear tighter. You let go of it. You spoke a word aloud. You kept silent. Each moment, a fork. Each fork, a thread. Each thread, its own world. And you, lying here, are the center from which they all spread. Your life, then, is not a single line, but a garden of paths, stretching out like branches, blossoming in all directions. It doesn't confuse you. It comforts you. Because in this view of reality, there is no wrong turn. Only turns you followed, and others you didn't. And they all matter. They all exist somewhere. The teddy bear becomes a kind of compass. Its softness does not choose, but it grounds you. A constant presence across every possible version of tonight. In one thread, you fell asleep with a smile. In another, a tear slipped down your cheek. In one, you dreamed of stars. In another, of oceans. And all of them are real, if the multiverse is true. All of them are versions of you, reaching out, touching the edge of something bigger. At the quantum level, particles exist in states of superposition, both here and there, both spinning and still, until we look, until we measure, and only then do they decide. You, too, are like that particle, full of possibility, until each moment asks you to become something definite. But before that moment, you are infinite, and sleep is the doorway to that infinite space. A realm where the rules soften, where time bends, where you can drift into. A version of yourself not bound by today. Maybe in another thread, you never stopped painting, or never left that city, or said yes instead of no. And maybe that version of you is dreaming of this one, wondering what might have happened if life had curved this way instead. It's not meant to be unsettling. It's meant to be freeing. Because if all paths are walked, then you are never far from any of them. You are a constellation of selves. And the thread you chose tonight is no less sacred than the rest. The bear stays with you, unchanged in each reality. It is the symbol of what does not split, what endures across versions. Safety, comfort, care. In a multiverse, these things are constants. Perhaps even the most important ones. You are not lost. You are simply resting on one thread, while the others hum quietly in parallel. And someday, perhaps in another dream, you may cross paths with another version of yourself. Not to compare, not to judge, just to listen. What did you learn? What did you love? What did you lose? And what stayed? The same? This idea that we are more than we can see doesn't have to overwhelm you. It can soften you, because it means you are never only this version. You are more. And tonight, as your thoughts dissolve into dreams, you might visit another thread. Feel its weight, see its sky, smell its air. The bear will be there too, in all versions. somehow always there, because every reality needs something soft, something unchanged, a point of gravity amid the possibility. You are slipping now into one of those threads, not the right one, not the best one, just the one that welcomes you tonight. And in the space between molecules, between neurons, between stars, a question gently unfolds. If every version of you holds the same tenderness, then which version do you bring back when morning comes? The air around you has softened. Breath by breath, the room has faded, and your body, while still, is no longer the only thing that moves. Inside your mind, something stirs, a ripple in still waters, a flicker in the quiet dark. You are beginning to dream. And dreaming, despite its mystery, is not illusion. It is structure. It is science. It is your brain's way of being awake in another language. Your eyes may be closed, but behind them, they dance, tiny, rapid movements beneath your lids. This is REM sleep, rapid eye movement, the stage where the mind becomes a canvas and the soul begins to paint. Your brain is more active now than it was during the day, but the body is still, as if gently paralyzed, not trapped, but protected. Protected so that dreams do not turn into motion, so that you can live them without leaping from the bed. And oh, the places your dreams will take you. Some dreams feel random. A city made of mirrors, a hallway that never ends, a voice without a face. Others feel rooted, a forgotten friend, a home you've never seen, but somehow miss. All of it crafted by your brain, using pieces of memory, emotion, instinct. Neuroscientists tell us that dreams serve many purposes. They process experience. They balance emotions. They simulate possibilities. When you dream, your brain replays, reconfigures, reimagines the life you've lived, and sometimes the life you haven't. Tonight, it will borrow from the sounds you've heard, the colors you've loved, the people you've lost, but it won't copy. It will blend. It will transform. Your brain is a playwright, and dreams are its quiet stage. The teddy bear lies beside you, still and simple. But in your dream, it may come alive. It may speak, guide you through gardens of thought, or become a character in your story. That's the beauty of the dreaming mind. It knows no rules. It only knows meaning. Even the strangest dream carries emotion, a feeling of wonder, a surge of fear, a glimpse of joy too big for words. And these feelings are real, biologically real. Your brain releases neurotransmitters, fires neural patterns, lights up entire regions that mimic waking life. In a dream, you feel the fall before you hit the ground. You feel the hug before you see the face. You feel the ache before you ask the question. And when you wake, that feeling lingers, even if the images fade. This is not fantasy. It is a nightly reality, one we all enter over and over again. Each night, your brain cycles through stages: light sleep, deep sleep, REM. These loops repeat like quiet waves across the night. The first dreams are short, scattered. Later, they stretch, becoming rich, cinematic, sprawling. By dawn, your mind may be living an entire life in the space of minutes. No one fully knows why we dream, but we know we need to. Deprive the brain of REM sleep, and the effects are swift. Mood drops, memory slips, focus blurs. Dreaming, it seems, is not decoration. It is function. It is a reset, a rehearsal, a release. Sometimes, your dreams echo what you felt today. A stress repeated, a laugh remembered. Other times, they pull from far deeper old memories, unresolved stories, wishes you didn't know you still carried. The brain has no need for time while dreaming. You might be 10 years old again, or someone you've never been. You might fly. You might fall. You might forget who you are and remember something truer. And yet, even in the wildest dreams, there is always a thread. A feeling of you moving through the fog. Your teddy, in the dream, might become a mountain, or a boat, or a creature with your father's voice. It doesn't matter. It matters that you recognize the shape of care, however it appears. Dreams do not obey logic, but they do obey the heart. They follow emotional truth. You are safe now. And in safety, the mind wanders. It drifts through internal skies, searching not for answers, but for meaning. And meaning is what the brain loves most. It finds it in patterns, in images, in stories. Dreams are stories, and you are always the main character. Even when you don't look like you, even when you forget you're dreaming, that's what makes them sacred. They are your mind speaking in symbols, your soul rehearsing what it cannot yet say aloud. And when you wake, you may forget the dream, but not its message. You'll feel lighter, or heavier, or calmer, and you'll wonder why. But your body will remember, because dreaming is a real place, not on a map, but in your biology, in your chemistry, in the shape of your breath against the pillow. And as you drift further into that place, the bear still by your side, a final thought glows quietly in the distance. If dreams are made of memory, and memory is made of life, then maybe dreaming is the life that waits between the days. The darkness is lighter now, not gone, not rushed, just softer at the edges. A suggestion of day, like a whisper behind a closed curtain. You are still resting, but the tides are shifting. The long drift of night is slowly turning, and your body, wise as ever, feels it first. Your breath begins to deepen, not with effort, but instinct. A stretch beneath your ribs. A quiet return. You do not wake all at once. Waking, like sleeping, is a process. A gradual climb from the deep ocean of dreams toward the warm shore of morning. There is a word for this sacred threshold, hypnopompic. It is the gentle space between sleep and wakefulness. A time when thoughts are still liquid, and the dream has not yet faded. You're in that space now. You don't need to open your eyes. Not yet. There is time. The teddy is still beside you, unchanged. It has weathered the night with you, silently present as your dreams unfolded. Its fur still holds your warmth. Its weight still speaks of comfort. It has not traveled through the dream, but it has waited patiently on the other side. Your mind begins to return now. The theater of sleep quiets its stage. REM cycles slow. Melatonin fades, making room for cortisol, a hormone not of stress, but of waking. Cortisol is often misunderstood. It does not only appear in panic. It rises each morning to prepare your body to rise with it. It lifts your blood pressure, your heart rate, your awareness. Not in a rush, but like sunrise creeping through the trees. Your brain's internal clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, begins to pulse again, signaling that it's time to gently shift gears. This clock runs on light. And though your room may still be dim, your body anticipates the sun before it reaches your skin. Waking is not just opening your eyes. It is chemistry. It is rhythm. It is remembering how to be in the world again. And still, you don't rush. Because comfort does not end with night. The teddy bear, quiet in your arms, reminds you. You can carry softness into the day. Dreams may dissolve, but what they taught you lingers. A feeling, a phrase, an image you can't quite place. That is your brain finishing its work, sorting, saving, releasing. It knows what to keep. You don't have to decide. Sleep has done its work. Your cells have repaired. Your mind has wandered, grieved, celebrated, imagined. You have practiced living without having to move. And now you begin to move again. Fingers first, then shoulders, then breath that stretches just a little longer than before. Outside, the world is still quiet, but light is coming. And with it, a return. You don't rise as someone new. You rise as someone whole, pieced back together by dreams and chemistry and time. You are still carrying the warmth of your bear, still carrying the softness of the night. They do not vanish. They change shape. Comfort becomes presence. Stillness becomes readiness. Rest becomes motion. And though the world may ask much of you today, this morning moment asks only one thing, Kalan. Remember, remember how it felt to be held, to breathe without thinking, to sleep without resistance. You can take that with you. It is not lost when you open your eyes. It is stitched into your memory, woven into your body, just like the teddy, the symbol of what stays steady. Even when everything else changes, there will be other nights, other dreams, other drifting paths. But this one mattered. This one softened you. This one brought you home. And as the light begins to bloom through the window, a single golden beam finds the edge of the bear's ear, a glint of morning catching what stayed close. You are almost awake now, but not fully. And that's okay. Waking is not a race. It is a return to your name, to your story, to your life. But perhaps this time you carry a little more gentleness into it, a little more calm, because now you know sleep is not escape. It is return to the body, to the self, to the parts of you that speak only when everything else is silent. And so, with the final hush of night brushing past you, and the warmth of dreams still tucked into your skin, you open your eyes and bring the softness with you. And now, as our story gently fades, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this moment with me. Your presence here means the world, and your support helps me create even more peaceful journeys. Just for you. If this helped you rest, please consider liking, subscribing, or simply coming back tomorrow night. Until then, stay cozy, stay kind, and may your dreams tonight be soft, serene, and full of wonder. Good night, my friend. With warmth, David.